now in Poland we have two different countries.
We are not against democracy. Of course, democracy has its own negatives.
They basically change the meaning of the words to claim that they are democratic, which is absolutely ridiculous.
It's a deeply polarized society in Poland, and these elections are only augmenting this polarization.
Our elections are important for us, for Polish people, but also for European Union and for global situation.
Lengyelországban elnökválasztást tartanak, a második fordulóban Varsó liberális főpolgármestere és a nacionalista PiS által támogatott történész jutott be. Második forduló előtt nagyüléseket tartanak Varsóba, ezek itt Leváltották támogatói.
Here to support our candidate for the presidential election, Leváltották, and we are here because we care about Poland, we care for European Union.
We want Poland in Europe, we want to be a free nation.
We're here to say that we're going to fight for democracy, we're going to vote for a democratic candidate.
I love freedom, that's why I'm here.
We hope that Rafał will be our president.
That's the only choice. Well, the alternative is tragic, so...
Ezek pedig azok az emberek, akikről Trzaskowski támogatói azt mondták, hogy veszélyeztetik a demokráciát. Ők a nacionalista Nawrocki hívei.
I am a Polish patriot and I just have a feeling that I have to be here to show my patriotism.
I'm just celebrating our nationality as well, and I'm supporting Karol Nawrocki as a president.
He's the only one who can solve the problems that we have in Poland.
I want free and sovereign Poland.
I'd like to vote for freedom, freedom in my country, in my homeland.
Ahhoz, hogy megértsük a mostani lengyel politikai helyzetet, vissza kell mennünk az időben a másfél évvel ezelőtti parlamenti választásig. Akkor szintén Varsóban voltunk.
Right now we already have autocracy. It's not democracy, and it was introduced behind our will.
Through these 8 last years, the reigning party was anti-democratic.
It's already on progress, transformation into the autocracy.
The stakes are really high.
Azt a választást végül a Donald Tusk vezette koalíció nyerte. 8 év után leváltották a nacionalista PiS kormányt. Tuskék fontos ígéretekkel kezdtek neki a kormányzásnak.
Well, the coalition government delivered the key promise, which was unlocking the EU funds. You can also then focus on a number of other issues that have mobilized the critical electorate for the last elections, and that were related to the rights and freedoms.
Volt azonban egy akadály, ami miatt nem tudták végrehajtani a reformjaikat.
Out of 100 of all the promises, I wouldn't be able to enumerate how many, but it's fair to say that not half of them were fully met.
Honestly, this is the reason why people now feel so frustrated, because of course they have delivered a few of these promises. Many of them is in progress, but frankly I think that they haven't even possibility to deliver the full.
The president's role in this is critical because for effective implementation of the law in Poland you need a president who does not threaten a veto.
Ezt az akadályt Andrzej Duda képezte, aki köztársasági elnökként mindent megtett, hogy megnehezítse Tuskék dolgát. Többször vétózott, máskor pedig már a vétó belengetésével is elérte a célját.
President usually has completely different opinion in many things.
The president has been pushing up his rights and privileges to a maximum, limiting this government.
He is strongly connected with law and justice, so the opposition party, and of course they has a different opinion about justice, for example.
An example of the effect was with the reforms of the rule of law. They have not been yet submitted because the President Duda has invested himself so much personally in changing the regulation and the legal system around the top court in Poland that we know for sure that he would not be happy to sign into law any of the initiatives the government had, even though the government tried to have a dialogue with the president.
Now we can observe a mess, simply speaking, and yeah, Law and Justice have conducted a lot of very, let's say, controversial decisions.
The government has also tried, and without the veto of the president, to go with the with limiting the abortion ban, but there wasn't even a majority in the parliament that would believe that this can go forward, and the president would not veto it. So there wasn't effectively a veto, but there was a threat and a clear expectation that the president will not sign it.
This is the reason why the new government, the prime minister, waiting for a change in presidential office.
A mostani elnökválasztást tehát másfél évnyi belpolitikai padhelyzet után tartják meg. Választás tétje lényegében Lengyelország kormányozhatósága.
We need to fight to make them more democratic.
The stake is freedom. We fight for freedom because freedom can be taken away. It's the most important value for me and for everyone here.
We are afraid that opponent of Rafał Trzaskowski want to move out from the European Union, so we don't want him as a president of Poland.
There is no choice. There is only Nawrocki. He can block and veto some very wrong papers, anti-life, anti-Polish propositions which Tusk cannot force.
This election is extremely important, not only because we have difficult situation in country. I mean, we have rebuilt a lot of institutions. We have to rebuild our fundament, in fact. On the other hand, we have a really difficult global situation. European Union is now in very crucial moments.
It is about Poland in the EU, utilizing and building on the position of Poland within the EU for its own security and security of all of Europe.
Our elections are important for us, for Polish people, but also for European Union and for global situation, especially after Trump.
And a version of decomposition, a European decomposition, moving Poland away from the core, sidelining it in Europe, and trying to attach it to a political ideology of the MAGA Republicans and Donald Trump. And essentially also, to some extent, of Viktor Orban.
Lots of people now see Hungary as evil, Orban evil i tak dalej, etc. But I think Orban is first of all cares about Hungary. He's not caring what the European Union says or anyone else.
So this is a fundamental choice that Poland is now deciding.
The moment is historical.
This is about entrenching a particular stream of either this government, the current government, or already undermining the direction that this government and Donald Tusk proposes, and elevate the radical forces that are already waiting for 2027 elections.
Az új elnök személye alapjaiban határozza majd meg a lengyel belpolitika következő évét. A feladatra két politikus pályázik. Egyikük a liberális jobbközép Rafał Trzaskowski, akit Donald Tusk miniszterelnök is támogat.
He's well-known politicians in Poland, strongly connected with civic platform, extremely experienced. He has good knowledge, good education and skills to be a president.
He's true, he's honest, and he gives us chance to be in Europe.
He's the best candidate and he will provide us the security, we will be still in the European Union, and he's simply the best.
We are here to vote for a person who is not going to
lead us out of the European Union, who's going to disaccept our beliefs.
He is the only one who can conduct Poland right now.
For Mr. Trzaskowski, this is a new phase of Polish politics with the liberal left seeing for the first time a major win in a bigger institution of someone who is of a younger generation than Donald Tusk. He has now all of a sudden an ability, and he would have the ambition also to speak on behalf of the new generation, to seek for support and for basically uniting the voters. He lost also in the previous year.
He would sign everything that Tusk would give him to sign, which is very bad for Poland.
I don't trust him. Unfortunately, he's lying a lot.
Trzaskowski is the globalist. It's not good for Poland.
He's pro-LGBT right now.
His activity is rather in favor to European Union than in favor of Poland.
A másik jelölt pedig a nacionalista Karol Nawrocki, aki függetlenként, de a PiS támogatásával indul.
He's the only choice.
For me, for my family, for our nation, I think it's the better that Nawrocki wins.
And if we have Karol, he will be controlling that, checking, and he will be the voice of just Polish people.
Trzaskowski wouldn't veto anything that Tusk government would accept, and Nawrocki is a hope that not everything will pass.
Karol Nawrocki is not so well known. We know that he's a rather conservative politician. He has the same, let's say, view of politics, view of the world, of different kind of issue like law and justice.
He's just not intelligent. He is a populist, and he wants to close Poland for everyone, I think.
He's a neo-fascist. He's anti-Ukrainian people. He's pro-Putin.
Nawrocki is tragic because of his past, lack of experience, and willingness to sign anything.
Nawrocki is a bandit. That's all.
He's ex-hooligan and he doesn't care for it. He's too conservative.
Every day, media in Poland published new information about really, really dangerous information about his past. We know that he is related with, simply speaking, the crime world.
His objectives, political objectives, would be a bit different because immediately from day one he would start to seek a role of a disruptor to the existing government.
Tehát az egyik tábor banditának, a másik pedig idegen hatalmak ügynökének tartja a másik tábor jelöltjét. A jelenséget mi is jól ismerjük. Ahogy Magyarországon, úgy Lengyelországban is nagyon megosztott a társadalom.
Now in Poland we have two different countries. I mean, from one more Catholic side and one liberal, progressive, and to the west of the Europe, pro-European Union. And I want to my children to be a part of European Union.
I'm always open for discussions with a lot of people, but I notice, because I am supporting PiS and Nawrocki, but there are a lot of people who start really shouting, screaming, even in my company. So they have problems with discussing, just giving the points, the arguments, etc.
Everything is polarized, and people rather demonstrate their faith than actually conviction of the reasoning.
The Trzaskowski voters might think that the Poles here are against democracy. No, we are not against democracy. Of course, democracy has its own negatives, but it also has positives. So it's not like that if half of the Polish are for Trzaskowski, that means that half of the Polish are for democracy and the other half is against democracy.
They basically change the meaning of the words to claim that they are democratic, which is absolutely ridiculous.
People, but not only in Poland, in general, are totally open for effective disinformation, internal and external. So that's why I think that is worse situation than even 10 years ago. And new media, social media, algorithms, disinformation, the external influences of our election, not only our, of course, This is the reason why I think now people live in their own world.
Like in many other democracies, it has a flavor of urban-rural divide, but also it's a type of a divide between internationalism and anchoring in multinational institutions for security, and those whose preference is much more isolationist or nationalist in how they perceive the way forward. It's a deeply polarized society in Poland, and these elections are only augmenting this polarization.
A választás végeredménye szinte megjósolhatatlan. Könnyen előfordulhat, hogy a két jelölt közötti különbség 1%-nál is kevesebb lesz.
I think it's 50-50.
Small number of votes will decide.
It's going to be very close. Right now, it doesn't look like we have 100% chance of winning.
The mobilization, the level of turnout will be absolutely crucial here. So now this is important to create a new emotion, create a motivation, create good feelings about the possibility to win the election.
Amit biztosan tudunk, hogy a verseny nagyon szoros lesz, és ebbe az épületbe új elnök költözik be vasárnap. Lengyelország jövő szempontjából kulcsfontosságú lesz, hogy az a nacionalista Nawrocki vagy a liberális Trzaskowski lesz.